for. There it is. All right. Sweet. Good job. And first of all, I really want to thank Kimberly for kind of forcing me to get back into Python. It wasn't really forced. She asked me, and I was like, you know what? I want to pick up this project. And hey, you guys can see it. I really appreciate her for that. That's pretty awesome. Thank you. So long story short, let's go ahead and get this thing going since it is a lightning talk. First off, Python is awesome. It's about one of the easiest thinking programming languages out there. I'll try not to walk around, stay in the camera there. And so with that said, they have this awesome Python enhancement proposal, PEP guides out there. Not many languages, I don't think, come with something as well documented or at least community supported as that. And I will say right now, mine is not necessarily written to that guide precisely, but I would say it's awesome to kind of help anyone out if they really want to kind of write code that can be passed on to anyone else and those kind of things. So PEP is awesome, Python's awesome, Kimberly is awesome. And so here, let's go ahead and get on the talk. So I'm going to talk about, I wrote this funky little script to retweet for me. I don't get on Twitter enough, and I'm supposed to be maintaining the B-Sides Oklahoma Twitter. And I had some nice little screenshots to show you just how far behind I am with notifications. And so I started this a long time ago, and I actually had some help. I tried to give out some shout outs to Malware Unicorn for her idea, but I'm just gonna kind of go through this code. So config parser, I'm importing a lot of things, and I don't think this has, but yeah, really 60 lines of code in it. But I got a lot of modules I'm kind of cheating with. The first one's config parser. It's an awesome module that kind of is able to let me pull in all my authentication. I don't like to hard code any kind of keys, passwords, or anything in code, just especially if you're like posting it back out to GitHub. You don't really want your keys out there. They have some really awesome scripts that can actually search GitHub for people's keys. And so it's always best to kind of have that off and out of your code that you're going to be committing, and then adding that file in your git ignore, and say, oh, hey, I don't want my config keys out there at all. And so there, oh, hey, there's my keys. Config parser does that for me. OS, because I have this in a config file in OS, I had to import that module as well. The sys, there was some try exception, and I had to use this sys exit to kind of like, hey, if this fails, I don't want it to get too ugly. And I use that. I'm really not even sure why. There's probably better ways, and please help me, because I'll take it. TweetPie. Now here's the module I chose. There's a few different modules out there, and not only that, Twitter has really well documented API, so you don't even need any of the modules out there. You can kind of roll your own. I'm not that good, so I went ahead and used theirs. And I will say it makes it really easy to manipulate the Twitter API with, and you'll see real quick. And then regular expression, because regular expression is, man, don't be scared of it. It gets easier with time, I promise. Coming from someone that looking at that regular expression strings, and it's like, what does this mean? But I'm going to go over the two simple ones I have for this, and hopefully kind of demystify it a little bit for you guys. So the first method, function, whatever you want to call it, I bet you the PEP guide will tell me what I should be calling it. I go ahead and do my Twitter auth, and so this is going to authenticate us to Twitter by pulling in all the different keys from our config file, and then presenting that through their API right here, and then just kind of like, hey, let me try to see if I can connect. If not, be nice and print a nice little error there. So the funny thing about what the TweetPie provides back to you, it's actually the type of value or type of variable it is a result set. That was kind of fun, but you can easily change this to JSON because there's like I think I even have like some little cheater code down here to get you to JSON if you guys like JSON. I'm not that fancy, so I believe I just took it to a string or a dict or something. I think it's a dict, who knows, dictionary. But yeah, so there's some nice little, in this code, all this is in GitHub, to kind of tell you this is what I use to go and extract the information from the result set to get it somewhat usable, because otherwise it's just this big old string blob looking thing, and it's like, I can't read that, what am I doing with here? And so that's just some little helper stuff there. So now here's my main function. Again, like I said, I read PEP guide, but I probably didn't ingest as much into my head that I probably should have. But so here's my main function. This is going to go and take the API for the Twitter auth, pull that in, go ahead, and now I'm going to go to my home timeline. So at first I was like, hey, I want to go through my friends, and I want to search their way, but However, it wasn't easy to enumerate, and I had to do like the friend.id, and I had to use their ID. And so I had to create a list of IDs, and as I'm enumerating my friends, I didn't want to have to think about, hey, I'm going to create these ID lists as I'm enumerating my friends and take that ID list and then go back through it again. I just felt like that was clunky. And so I forgoed that. And so now I used, hey, my battery's almost dead, so let's go ahead and try to speed this up a little, huh? So the timeline is what I used. I went ahead and did my timeline, went back 100. It seemed to be enough. I don't do much on here, yada, yada, yada. So my friendly, so this is what it does. It goes through, it checks for all my friends based on my regular expression, which I'm looking for other B-siders. And so right here you have B-sides. This period is like a wild card, so it's going to be at the start of the friend string, is what this little caret guy does. Then you have this wild card dot, and then it's 1 or 6 times. Or if they did it the other way, they're going to spell B-sides. Then go ahead and go 1 through 7, just because I went through the list of all my friends and hey, there's that many different characters and they didn't really adhere to any kind of standard because there's not one. The next one is just looking for call for papers, or CFP is open. Now is like it can be there or not be there. There's some spaces here that cannot or may not have to be there or whatever. So I'm looking for CFP is open. Then go through the main. Here's some other cool little things. Let's go ahead and get out of that and let's start this up. So I wrote this all in Python 3 because why not? It's what is next, and deprecation of 2.7 is there. And so yeah, go on 3 if you haven't already. And this would happen. Let's see if we got internet, huh? Let's ping Google. Yep, unknown host. Sweet. Hey, this is the cool thing about doing it live, huh? Let's see here. Are you too far away, buddy? Hey. Oh, the .co's not there? I'm telling you, this is why you do it live. Man, good times. We're just going to say that I'm almost out of batteries, and that's the reason why. So the thing is, it's not my code at all. Nothing to do with my code. Yeah, I think I actually have it right here. Nope, that's not it. Because I just did it earlier. So I'd love to show you. Because I made all that time in the code. Hey, you know what? You're not going to get to see it, so there. Any questions? So I actually, yes.
You sure you already sent us back in stream those on Twitch?
Hey, thank you. And yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Love it. Just want to give you guys a helping hand there. But no, so I created a B-sides test, and so that's kind of where I started to kind of do this. Here was the tweet I just did earlier, and then I promise you this would normally work if we had internets. But there's the retweet that I kind of did. It's essentially doing that, but yeah, there we go. Any other questions? Yeah. Sweet.